Since the first enslaved Africans were brought to this continent, the relationship with the outdoors has been complicated. From slavery to Jim Crow to the civil rights movement and into the present, nature has occupied two spaces in the African American psyche: a place of terror and a place of freedom. Generations of racism, redlining, and discrimination deepened these complex dynamics. The perception of natural spaces as created by and for white people has long been the dominant cultural assumption, and it goes back to the very foundations of outdoor recreation in the United States. National parks and public recreational sites were either segregated or completely off limits to people of color prior to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, but the exclusion ran deeper than policy. For many African Americans, the wilderness itself carries a haunting weight, evoking memories of slavery, violence, and lynching. The woods were not just a place of recreation, they were a place of danger. And yet, nature also served as a refuge. When spaces were established as safe, meaning places where Black people had a history of enjoying leisure free from discrimination, nature became an escape from white racism, not just a site of it. In a 1963 article in the Geographical Review, geographer John Hart documented how African Americans who had migrated north carved out rural retreats where they could simply rest. That dual history shapes the present. The National Park Service's own visitor surveys tell a stark story. Hispanic Americans make up 5% of visitors at surveyed sites, Asian Americans another 5%, and African Americans just 2%. This isn't just about hiking or camping. Consider the advice that ornithologist J. Drew Lanham offered fellow Black birdwatchers in 2013. Be prepared to be confused with the other Black birdwatcher. Carry your binoculars and three forms of identification at all times. Don't bird in a hoodie. Nocturnal birding is a no-no. These aren't jokes, they're a survival guide. As scholars have noted, white dominance in outdoor recreation suppresses different environmental relationships, silencing Black Americans' historical use of nature as a site for autonomy and self-determination. The reason Black Americans are underrepresented in outdoor spaces aren't reducible to just one cause. Researchers point to three overlapping forces: limited socioeconomic resources, cultural factors, boundary maintenance, and ongoing discrimination and white racial framing. These don't just explain who visits national parks, they explain how leisure preferences are shaped, constrained, and inherited across generations. And yet, here's where the story gets more hopeful. Despite these barriers, when African Americans do access outdoor spaces, the benefits are significant and well documented. According to a systemic review by Thompson and colleagues, outdoor recreation enhances life satisfaction and happiness by providing restoration, encouraging physical activity, and building social connection. A separate review by Lackey and colleagues found that 46 out of 51 studies reported at least one positive link between nature-based recreation and mental health. A 2023 study by Lee, Casper, Powell, and Floyd, the first of its kind focused specifically on African Americans, found that outdoor recreation involvement was a critical driver of subjective well-being. Crucially, the dimension that mattered most weren't just enjoyment, they were identity. The opportunity to express oneself and affirm one's identity through outdoor recreation had the strongest effect on well-being. In spaces that have historically excluded them, Black outdoor recreationists are reclaiming nature as a site of self-determination. The relationship between African Americans and the outdoors is not simply a story of absence. It is a story of exclusion dressed up as preference. Understanding that distinction, seeing the sociological forces behind who gets to enjoy nature and who doesn't, is exactly what sociology is about. The wilderness has never been neutral, and until we reckon with that, it won't be for everyone.